I'm Adam Schefter, and with one game in the books, let's take a look at the rewards you've unlocked by playing Draft Champions. We've just gotten started here, and already these guys have been handed a really difficult decision to make. We've seen Dallas represented once already. Could another Cowboy be joining the fold?
Bass and stills in the building, flash the camera. I'ma drop the hammer. Things done changed the hip-hop since I let Bobby out the slammer.
Oh, no need to worry about this guy. Just plug him right into the starting role, and he'll be a massive upgrade.
Pass me a cup of the club with the juice in the get bent out. Then I'ma slide with it to my ride and head up to my penthouse. Oh, I'm not trying to take.
Yeah, I don't think you needed a crystal ball to see that pick coming. That's all about loyalty and familiarity right there. So, with a handful of starters already nailed down, you have to ask yourself, do you dare go for depth, or do you just try to cover as many areas of the field as possible? Where to now? Do you get yourself a big brute for the trenches, or someone who can really help you out at a playmaker type spot? And this team does have a lot of needs, but this guy is a legitimate star, and he'll make everyone around him better. I'll tell you right now, you won't go wrong adding any of these guys to your team. Yeah, here's a spot where the fan base would be clamoring for a skill player. But do you listen to him or go after someone who can help you up front? Boy, it's finger crossing time now. With the end in sight and a few more holes to fill, you've got to be hoping that there's still a gem or two that becomes available. And now, which side of the football will they address here? Some interesting options either way.
But they can't defeat us. They could not destroy us.
Whoever's making the final decision here might have a coordinator in each year. Do you go offense or defense? One thing's for sure in this round. You're going to walk away with a great player no matter which way you go. Maybe not a huge upgrade over what they had already, but they're certainly building up some depth there. And with time running short, you've got to hope some guys fall into your lap, or you could be left with some real holes on your roster.
Thank you very much. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. We are ready for this draft champions matchup as you get a quick peek at some of the stars in today's game. We're ready to go. Let's get down to kickoff. And it's the birth of a new club as we're underway in Draft Champions. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. From the gun on 3rd. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. K.J. Wright coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Now on 4th down, here's Drew Butler in punt formation. Back deep is Philip Dorsett. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. From the gun, here's Love. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
2nd and 10, Luck again. Underneath for Miller. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, Luck. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a good game.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner. Toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
This is Miller, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. 3rd and long, it's Luck. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Jermaine Gresham, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Pats have taken the early lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. On second down, Wilson. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And this will probably be the last. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll come up now with the clock showing 3 seconds to go here in the first. One receiver left, 2 to the right. On first down, Wilson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Alongside Charles Davis, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Flushed out right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've had to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
On 2nd and 10, Locke. Wheaton with a catch right side. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time.
And he coughed it up. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. The fumble, but they're able to maintain possession. Now it's 2nd down. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Brief break in the action here. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. And you would have to think an obvious passing situation here on 3rd and 9. They'll toss it to Miller. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play. And when you have a free safety who can run like that, you've got to turn him loose.
They snap it to Locke. Gets it to Strong. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
To throw is Wilson. Dancing to his left. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 13 yards there on the pickup, and that leads to an Atlanta first down. One receiver left, two to the right. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 there, and it'll be first down Atlanta.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And a little floater there is incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Yet again, here's a wildcat look. And he's got some space here. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on 3rd down. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of his first half of play. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you termed that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 2nd down following the incompletion. Second and 10, Luck again. Being chased out left. And some room to work. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
How about that scramble by Andrew Luck? Sometimes we forget just how big, strong, and, yes, fast Andrew Luck is. When he came out of college at the Combine, shocked everyone, ran a sub-4 840.
And he grew up a big soccer guy over in Europe, so he knows how to use his feet.
That he does, and I think it has helped his legs along the way as well.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play? So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
It would have been a long field goal attempt, so when you only need a few inches, this, to me, is the right decision. And they wind up picking up the conversion on 4th down.
Dumps it complete to Miller. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, and he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Lamar Miller from 13 yards out, and the Patriots add 6 to their lead.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Jalen Strong, the intended receiver. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
If you try to shut us down, what's how we get down? And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door.
Y'all never played fair, so tell me why now should we care? Queen B told y'all a long time ago that we run the atmosphere. Did we build that? Yeah. Do we own that? Yeah. We even in the studios running playback. Shout out to Air Miss Sally, the young guards, all the G's like us. Yeah, we go hard. See, this is how we feel to be a champion. We might fall down, but we never run. You wouldn't need it if you knew what we overcome. Do you know what we overcome? But they ain't stopping nothing. Me and my girls on top, straight stunting. And we abide by a real strict code. Hands off my ex and homies over.
If you try to shut us down,